Right, so you have sat in a car in the car park and got it moving with your mum.
Yeah, that was about long time ago. Yeah.
Okay, and you would be quite happy today if you get the car into second gear. Let's see if we can achieve that later on then. Right, now that you're sat there, what do you need to do?
Mirrors? No?
Okay. Well,
Are they all...
well, we'll come to that in a moment.
Yeah.
Anything else that you might need to check for and possibly adjust?
The seat.
Okay, so you've got seat, got mirrors.
Mirrors.
If we were on a hill...
Plus? No. Oh, you need to be in... first. No, neutral.
Okay.
One of the two.
Right, okay, so we've got check the gear is okay. I'll come back to that again in a minute. If we were on a hill, have we got any brake on?
The handbrake, yeah. Is it not on?
Is it?
It's on if it's up, which it seems to be.
Right.
Yeah.
So, so I'm talking about things to check to make sure that they are where they should be.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So which of those do you think there's any particular order that any of those ought to be in with one before another?
Surely handbrakes first.
Okay. So you're checking the handbrakes on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mirrors before you pull away, surely.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then mostly clutch when you...
You've mentioned gear and seat as well.
Yeah. So we need to be in first.
While we're checking, before we switch the engine on, this is checking that everything's okay. So do we want to be in first gear right now?
No.
So what gear do we want to be in?
Neutral.
Are we in neutral? Or have I been sneaky and left it in a gear?
You might have left it in a gear.
I might have done.
You might have done. I actually could not tell you which one.
So, but any idea how you could check whether we are in neutral?
Leave it out.
Feel free to have a play with it.
Is that neutral?
So you've just gone left and right with that. How far can you go left and right?
Not far at all. So
okay.
It's not. So does that mean?
And now, left and right.
Yeah.
A lot further. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think that's in the gear now or not?
No.
No. That's how you'd know it's in neutral.
Okay.
All right. So then you check those. And the other two things that you've mentioned.
Seat.
And mirrors.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any particular order to those two?
Seat first.
Okay. Reason? I always like there to be a reason for doing something.
If you're too far away from the pedals, then you're not going to be pulling away.
Okay. But
so
why the seat before the mirrors?
Because that can change when you're doing the seat.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, is the seat in the right place?
Probably. No, I don't know.
What are you going to need to be doing while you are driving? What sort of actions are you going to be taking that might involve arms and legs?
So I need to be close enough to reach the pedals.
Just to reach the pedals? What are you going to do with the pedals?
Yeah.
So should we ever go at that?
So I should probably go a bit further forward.
Okay.
Because, yeah. But that's too far.
So what do you want to do with the pedals? Come on then. Is that right down? How does that feel?
I don't know if that's maybe a bit too far. No, not far enough forward.
Does your leg feel stretched when the pedals are right down?
Yeah.
Probably slightly too far then, because you don't want to feel really stretched when you're doing that.
Although it does, my knees do touch my thing.
We'll come back to that in a minute. Got long legs.
Yeah. think that's alright.
Okay. Which pedal are you pressing down?
Clutch.
So we have some knowledge.
We have some knowledge.
And the other pedals are, which one's which?
Accelerate, brake. No.
Which
Accelerate, brake.
Okay. And which foot do you use with which pedal?
Right for accelerate and brake.
Good.
Left for clutch.
Please don't try and use the left foot for the clutch for the brake. It really doesn't end well.
No.
Okay. So you've got an idea that the seat's in the right place. You just mentioned the fact that your knees are sort of touching the steering column. Are there any other adjustments that we could make that might eliminate that issue? So move the seat forwards or back, depending on. There's a couple of levers down to your right.
Is that to move it back a bit? Or?
No, there's a lever somewhere else. You found the one to move it forwards.
Right.
Without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because you went straight under here. So that's the one for moving it forwards.
Yeah. I mean this bit.
Oh right, that bit. Okay. Try it.
Well, I don't. There's two of them, so I don't know what.
Try one.
I don't know what that one does. That moves this forward and back.
So I think that's really a case of what's most comfortable for you.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind that you've got to hold the steering wheel as well.
Yeah.
What's the other one do?
I have no idea.
You feel what that's doing?
No. Oh right, it's moving it backwards, kind of. Yeah.
Have you pulled it up or pushed it down?
I pushed it down.
Okay, you push it down again. And again. And again.
Moving down. Yeah.
So is that taking your knees a little bit away from the steering column?
Yeah.
What it's actually doing, it's going on a bit of an angle, so it's taking you a little bit further back than it was.
Yeah.
So that might have changed the position of the seat in regard to the pedals. I don't know. How does that feel when you push the clutch down again now? Still okay?
Yeah.
No, it's not gone that far. Are you aware that you can change the position of the steering wheel?
Not really. No. People do it, but.
But that's something, I don't know whether because it will go up and down, in and out.
Yeah.
So you can move that if your knees are still smacking against the steering column. Okay. Right, so you've got the seat sorted. Well, not completely. You think that's in the right place for you? Oh, look at that. Dearie me.
Is that too far?
Well, what's the purpose of it? What's it called?
I don't know. I would have gone back, to be honest.
Everybody else. So you're going to go sleep on it, are you? Head restraint.
Head restraint. That might be a bit.
What's the purpose of it?
Okay.
When might that happen? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So it's there to try and stop and reduce any neck injuries, whiplash. Yeah. So do you think that's it? The sort of position where it's going to prevent your head going back?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's fine to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's the seat sorted. And the other thing was
mirrors.
Okay.
How do you move these ones? I don't know.
Yeah, you'll have to excuse. I do believe there must be some spiders living up behind the mirror.
Is it? Is that manually?
Yeah, absolutely right. So your car, do the mirrors move do you have to use manually or electrically?
Manually.
Oh well, good news for you. It's electric here.
Okay.
It's on the armrest.
This one? Okay.
Yeah. Now, how can you work out which mirror you're adjusting?
There's left and right.
Yes. And there's a little switch in the middle.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
What do you...
Yeah, I
Well,
don't
go
know
on.
what unnecessarily.
I was just about to ask you
Yeah.
that. What do you think you want to see in that mirror?
As much of what's behind me as possible.
Okay. How do we want to see any of this car?
No. I'm guessing. Probably not.
So you want to see what's coming along behind you?
Yeah.
Would it be worth knowing where those vehicles or road users or whatever are in relation to this car?
Yeah.
So would it help seeing a bit of this car?
Yeah.
How much of the mirror do you want taken up with this car?
Not a lot of it.
Yeah,
Just a
right.
little bit,
Yeah, just a 10%, couple of fingers width, something like that.
Okay.
So that's really what you want.
Right.
So is that what you've got now?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Now this mirror is being a bit of a nuisance because it's got stuck and I need to move it,
Right.
but I'm scared to move it and do it too hard and crack
Okay.
it. So I'm going to wait until I can get my man down at Kirk Willis Motors to do it for me.
Right.
So you might find that one doesn't move as much as you want it to,
Okay.
and there's a bit more of the car
Right.
than is
There is a
ideal.
bit more. Oh.
Yeah, but it may not do very much.
Oh, it did a bit. It's not moving anymore.
No, that's about it.
Okay.
Okay, and the other thing that you would normally do next, I would guess, you've already done. Which is? First thing you did when you got in that seat.
Oh, move. Oh, seatbelt.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, normally if you're going to move the seat a decent distance, sometimes it's not a great idea to have the belt across your neck here. But you're trying to make sure it's not twisted across your body as well. Right, now, I think we're about to be joined. Have a look. Now, you have made the fatal error of telling me you've started a car before. So, off you go.
Right. Clutch first. I should not have told you that.
No, you've got to be very, very careful what you tell me.
Is it into first then? Then you go into first?
Okay.
I don't know if that's
Well,
okay,
let's have a look at those. How could you make sure the clutch was in the position to go towards first gear? What could you do with it? You know it's in neutral.
Yeah.
So it's in this middle position here. What direction could you take the gear stick in first before you go towards number one?
Right.
Towards 5 and R in reverse.
I guess, so you know how, I don't know.
Well, one and two are over towards me.
Yeah.
So
before you go to one?
No, yeah, before you go that way.
Yeah.
Do you want to come?
Oh, right, yeah.
Okay.
Go that way. And that's as far as I can go.
Put the clutch down.
So.
There we are. Yeah.
So that's that.
That's your first gear.
Right. Okay.
Next.
Handbrake?
Can we just take it out of gear for a moment?
Yeah.
Can I suggest there's one fairly fundamental thing that you might want to do before all of this?
Start the car, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Do you need to put clutch in? Yeah. As you're starting the car?
Don't know, do you?
Don't know.
Try it.
So clutch in first, and then wrong way.
Do you still need to be on the clutch pedal?
No.
Okay.
So I don't.
Well,
Okay.
Are we okay still?
Yeah.
What? Can you tell me why you suggested putting the clutch down?
Just literally because the car that I drove before, that's how you start.
So when you turn the key on its own, the engine wouldn't start?
No, not until you put the clutch down.
Okay, same here.
Turns it on
It is
again.
the same
Okay.
here. Do you know why? Right, you have some homework now.
Okay.
You can test Mum.
Right.
If she's got an automatic, it is a little bit different. But if you've been driving a car, I'd say so. When you went out, it was a manual.
Yeah,
Mum.
sorry, I used the wrong. It's a manual car, but it starts when you put the clutch down.
Right.
Is what I mean.
Ask her why.
Okay.
Let's see what answer we get.
Alright. Okay.
If we get an answer at all.
Right.
It'd be interesting, but there must. Well, everything you do, I want that, and you should think this. Well, why do I need to do this?
Okay.
Why? Don't ever just blindly do what I tell you to.
Okay.
Even if we're in a situation where I better do it now. But afterwards, why did I need to do that? Question everything.
All right.
Okay. So let's go back to the sequence you were doing.
Right. So I'll do the clutch first.
Okay, so that's as far as we've got. Next.
Then I think handbrake.
What if we're on a quite a steep slope?
Then he'll start.
Take the handbrake. Let's do that. Take the handbrake off. Yeah.
That happen a lot because I really hope it does.
But most people, including my wife, moan at me for putting the handbrake up too far.
Oh my goodness! I can't even push the button in.
Put it up and then push it in. Use two hands. Put it up first.
Okay.
Shall I help you? I'll just put it down one level, so it should be a bit easier. Put it up
I don't
first.
know why. Oh, there we go. Right.
That's annoying, because I was hoping we were going to be on a slope.
And then fall back.
Right, so if we're on a slope, we'd either roll backwards or forwards.
But not if you've got the clutch in, surely.
That's annoying that we are on a slope, not on much of a slope. But so let's put the handbrake back on. Let's pretend we are on a slope, and we're going to roll backwards. What do you need to do to get the car ready to move forwards? What's the next thing you're going to do with either your feet or your hands?
Okay.
Oh, tried to let it go forwards.
I did. I thought it was okay.
So what did you just do?
Took it off the clutch, but I didn't accelerate, so it wasn't going to go anywhere. So I stalled.
Did the car try and move forwards?
It did. So I stalled.
Okay.
Right.
So somewhere in that process, just then, you got the car moving forwards. Well, that probably went a centimetre or so, but it's moved forwards. So what part of that got the car trying to go?
Taking my foot off the clutch.
Okay, and why did it stop?
Because I did it too quickly.
Okay.
Maybe? I don't know.
So how far up do you want to bring the clutch pedal?
Well, you can take it, is it just slowly? So you can take your foot off just to do it slowly?
Have you heard of the term biting point?
Yes. I feel like
now, what's the purpose of the clutch? Any idea?
I tend to just think of it not as a brake, but like keeps the car in place.
When I ask a question, do you know what the purpose of something is? Yes, no, and don't know are all valid answers. It's basically, very simply, it connects the engine to the wheels.
Okay.
So when you put the clutch down, the clutch is made up of a couple of metal plates. This is a very simplistic explanation. One's connected to the engine. Turn the engine on, a plate spins round.
Okay.
Put the car into gear and bring the clutch pedal up, and the two plates come together and bite together.
Okay.
So the one that's connected to the engine now connects to the wheels, and both of them start turning, and the wheels try and turn. Except at the moment they can't turn.
Okay.
So that's what happened there.
So if I wasn't in gear.
Yeah.
No.
If you weren't in gear.
If I wasn't in gear, then it wouldn't have gone anywhere.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
So the clutch plates bit together. But because you came right off the clutch, you didn't really give them a chance to do very much, and also you were making sure we couldn't go anywhere by having the handbrake on still.
Right.
Shall we try that sequence again?
So I need to go back and
put the clutch down and put it into neutral. We have stop-start in this car, as well you don't always have to turn the key.
Yeah.
So let's go back to first gear.
Okay.
Let's just have a practice at trying to work out where this biting point is. Just try and feel that. We won't go anywhere at the moment. Just have a feel with the clutch pedal when you've got dogs. The dogs are, especially your Springer.
Yeah.
Trying to keep that on a lead, I imagine, is fun. That's what we want to feel here. It's as if a dog's trying to go on a lead. We're going to feel a tug.
So am I doing this quickly? Or does it?
Just feel the tug.
There.
Feel the tug and stop at that point. Okay. Just have another go. Go down and bring the clutch back up until you feel a definite. Oh, that's just slightly too far.
All right.
Right, but you felt the tug. That's where you want to stop your foot.
Okay.
That's what we're looking for.
Right.
It's hard work to start with, and it is so frustrating, but that's what we're aiming for. Just stop your left foot the moment. So doing it quickly or slowly would be better at the moment.
Slowly.
Yeah, just work out where's that tug. Oh, please don't stop here. So we've got the handbrake on, we're not moving, so don't worry about that.
Okay. A little bit further up. There. Can't tell.
Just come on, very, very slightly. You feel that?
Yeah.
And you hear that as well?
Yeah.
There you are, and that's where we stop.
Okay.
Alright? Because that's the point where when we take the handbrake off, we'll start moving forwards. Put the clutch down. Can you put it into reverse? May or may not have gone properly in. We'll find out. What I'm going to do is take us back a little bit and give you a little bit more room when we do move forwards, now that he's very kindly turned up. Now here we will just take the handbrake off. Just take it off, because we're going to go that way. Oh, look at that, we are on a slight slope. Now we'll do the same going backwards as we're doing going forwards. Just get the clutch, just let her, I think she's off for a run. Just very gently bring the clutch to bite. If we're properly in gear, that camera will stay on.
Do I need to accelerate at all?
Don't worry about the accelerator, we'll leave that. Do you really want to go very fast?
No, but...
Right, it's not quite in gear, so if you can just give it another go and just pull it a bit further down. It's not in either. Just take it out of gear completely. Take your foot off the clutch. Put the clutch back down again and have another go. That's it. It's gone a bit further.
Yeah, okay.
That time. There's a gate to get through to reverse, and it doesn't always open properly. Right, just have a go, because this is what you're going to do going forwards in a minute, but we'll just give ourselves a bit more room now that that lady's very kindly parked there. So just find the bite. Because the handbrake's not on, we should start moving backwards. Oh, leave the clutch there. Now push the clutch right down. Just squeeze the foot brake nice and gently. That's right, it's just the sensors picking up the shrubbery here, that's all it is. If you just want to put the handbrake on and take it out of gear, get rid of the noise, it's the sensors at the back, and all they're doing is picking up. I think there's a bit of nettle sticking out. If you look in the mirror, that's all it's picking up.
Okay.
But it makes you think, oh my God.
Right.
So try that process that you've just done in reverse with first gear.
If it's up a slope a little bit, is it gonna... No? Is that a stupid question?
I'll tell you now, if you want a stupid question, and I have been asked this years ago by somebody from Kings, but she's probably 10 years ago now. We're approaching a red light, and Daisy, bless her, asked me, do I have to stop? Now that I did, class. I did even tell her that. I think, Daisy, you have just asked me a stupid question.
Is that Daisy Randall?
No.
I thought I knew her then.
No, it's probably a good 10 years ago.
Right.
This was.
Right. Okay.
So I can't remember what was your question? I can't remember.
It's on a slope. So I was like, well, I go back instead of forwards, but I won't.
Well, if you do, when you bit the clutch bit, we moved in the direction the gear was taking us. Okay. So this time, if the clutch bites, the difference now is that we do have the handbrake on at the moment. Yeah. So same process. First gear. So that's it. Lovely. Okay.
I always second guess if it's in first.
Well, if you're not sure, you can take it out. But your action there was that before that. And if you've gone as far as you can towards me.
Would I have gone straight to third if I didn't move forward? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So what's the next thing you're going to do?
Clutch down.
So clutch is down. Yeah. You're in gear. So what we're going to do with the clutch next? To get the engine connected to the wheels. What are you going to do with the clutch pedal?
lift it off and then...
How far?
To 5 minutes.
Okay, let's find that first.
Okay.
Oh, hold it there, hold it there.
Yeah.
Now we'll take the handbrake off.
Oh, okay.
Leave the clutch where it is, don't move it. Take the handbrake off.
That's terrible.
Take the handbrake off.
Stop.
I didn't do it this time,
No,
so
that
you
was all
can't blame.
me.
Pull it up first.
Okay.
Just steer about 5 minutes on the steering. Get both hands on the steering wheel. Let's go around this car. Steer around to the right.
Oh,
Both
no.
hands on the wheel. Both hands on the wheel. There we are. Then we can steer straight. There we are.
Straighten up.
Straighten up.
My
Straighten
steering's
up.
awful.
Straighten up. That's it. That's okay.
Okay.
Not quite the word you're using at the moment.
No.
Come all the way off the clutch.
All the way off the
all the
clutch.
way off the clutch. And we just very gently head towards a point in the hedge and straighten the steering up. That's it, just straighten it, just go in a straight line. We'll steer right in now. Now straighten the tyres up again.
Oh, I'm so confused.
That's fine. Put the clutch down and very gently start squeezing the brake before you move either foot. What other brake have we got? So let's use that one. We don't have to use the full brake. And before you come off the clutch pedal.
Neutral first? Yes.
And now, relax.
Yeah.
How was that?
Fine. My steering's awful.
Well, it's a little bit annoying that we had the car in front of us that we had to steer around.
Yeah.
You eventually got round it.
Uh-huh.
But to begin with, you were doing it one because this hand stayed clamped to the handbrake. The moment you put two hands on the steering wheel,
Yeah.
you had much more control over the steering.
Yeah.
Well done. What was the move off like? How the actual move off itself? Did that feel smooth?
I think so.
It certainly did from over
Yeah.
here. Let's just try that again. Obviously we're going to have to steer a little bit that way. Otherwise I'm going to end up in the hedge before you.
Yeah.
But you know, it was lovely and slow move off, wasn't it, last time? So let's just do this, have another go at doing that. Why won't it go into gear?
Clutch first? Yeah. Confused myself now. It is clutch first. Then that. And then I find biting point first. Just there.
And are we ready to go? What are we going to do to make the car go now? No, we haven't. No, we haven't. What you need to do to make sure the car can go. Have we got a brake on? Do we want to get rid of a brake?
Yeah?
Pardon?
But you've done it again.
Don't know your own strength. And what's this? We'll just steer a little bit to the right. But measure the clock, about 2 or 3 minutes. Steer to the right, steer to the right.
Sorry, I'm panicked. Oh, okay. Right.
I'm going to talk to you about panicking later on.
Do I start again at this point, or can I just
hello.
listen? You are in the hedge.
Which way do we want to steer the car?
Right.
Shall we just
someone behind me, so I'm like, hang on a minute.
Or should we just put some right steering on now?
Right.
Ideally, you don't want to be doing too much of that while you're stationary. Put some right steering on.
Okay. I don't know how far's too far. This is the thing.
Good point. Yeah. Only one way to find out. If I end up in the hedge, it's not enough. If you end up in the grass there, is that enough?
No.
Okay, so we're now half a turn, and is that?
Sorry.
Just come off the brake.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. See, so put that back to half a turn, which was no quarter of a turn, wouldn't it? Up a bit more. So is that taking me out? Leave it on. Just leave it on.
Right.
Put that quarter of a turn back on. Look at the steer. Quarter of a turn. So up, a bit more. There we go. So that's a quarter of a turn.
Okay.
90 degrees.
Right.
Come off the foot brake. It's a slope.
No,
it's a bit
really
more. And now straighten the steering up. There we are.
Okay.
It takes some time to work out how much steering do you want, and
yeah.
to relax here. So that's one pedal sorted,
No.
and nearly the other one. That's it. That's fine.
Okay. Right.
It takes a bit of time to work out how much steering do you want, and with power steering, most of the time the answer is not a lot. But sometimes we will need to put quite a bit on. We've got a lot of to do, but that's something that you'll gradually work out what to do. And what we'll look at the steering in a lot more detail later, because this is a straightish road and there's not a lot of opportunity to do much.
Right. In the car park, my steering was, I understeered so much. It was really bad, like thank goodness there were not cars there, because I did go into the spaces quite a lot. Although it was a fairly small car park. But,
Where was it?
It's the new one at King's. It's a staff car.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, when the thing's up, but it's fairly small. So.
Now, your next challenge, what we're going to do now is we're going to get the car onto the road and park it on the side of the road over there. You look so happy about that prospect.
That road?
Yeah, that road. Well, we're not going to stay in the car.
No.
Play by.
Where am I?
So, don't worry, I'm going to help you with this. What we're going to do is turn the car round to the right so it's pointing back that way. You will not want to drive that way. There's a really horrible bend uphill and a junction up there. Lovely straight road in a minute down there. But all we're going to do first of all is get the car onto that road, pull up at the side and stop. I will help you with this.
God. Okay.
What's the view like ahead for you? How far can you see?
Not that far, because there's a hedge in the way.
How far can you see behind you over your right shoulder?
Not that far, because there's a hedge in the way.
Yeah, quite. So our view in either direction at the moment is not brilliant.
Yeah.
So how fast do we want to go up to that white line?
Pretty slow.
Yeah. But we're going to need to use the clutch a little bit just to move the car. And we're going to need to steer around to the right. So the slower you're going, the sooner you can work out how much steering you want. And also, as we get near that white line, hopefully the view in each direction will improve. But the last thing we want to do is shoot out onto that road.
Yeah. So am I stopping complete? I'll stop completely before.
Stop at the white line. Oh yes, I'll definitely stop there. Chances are you'll stop before there as well. Which would be better than stopping out in the road.
Exactly.
But let's just take it nice. I'll tell you what we'll do first. Put the clutch down and put it into gear. Leave the clutch where it is. Let's just see if we're on a slope. And just take the handbrake off. Does the car move at all?
Yeah.
So steer around to the right. Steer around to the right. Leave the brake alone. Leave the brake alone.
Ready?
So how much steering do you want to put on to turn the car all the way back the other way? Is that going to be enough?
No.
So why don't we put some more on then?
And I'm going...
And how are we going to get the car moving now?
Lift it off the clutch.
How far?
To the biting point.
And no further. Let's just move the car a little bit.
Okay.
Now put the clutch back down again. The car's put a bit more steering on. Some more. Leave the brake at the moment. It's a bit more steering. A bit more steering. Now, just as we come, just lift the clutch slightly again, just to give him a bit of a prod. Just want to get a bit nearer the white line. We're not going out into the road yet, especially with him coming. So, and then put the clutch down again. See how you're controlling the car with the clutch? What's the view like to the left? That's pretty good, isn't it now? Yeah? What's the view like to the right? If only they'd cut the grass.
If they did cut the grass, there's nothing apart from that runner.
So should we just crawl very slowly so we get a because you know the view's clear that way. This is the tricky one. So just use that clutch again, just to move the car dead slow. Put the clutch down again, because the right, and then just bring it up. So the right is the issue, not the left. The left is, oh no it's not, was empty. So let's not give ourselves any pressure and try and get out in front of somebody. Just wait for an empty road. So You're going to use that clutch just to control the speed again now. You know it's empty to the road to the left, so the right is the big issue at the moment.
Yeah.
So let's just try and crawl out again using that clutch. Can you see something coming?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it's got his lights on.
Yeah, I would have seen it if he didn't have the lights on.
Difficult, isn't it? This is why what you're doing here is so helpful, that even if we do go out, we're going to go out really slowly, so anything coming will see us, and we're not going to shoot out in front of them.
Okay. Am I going there?
Yeah, let's use the clutch just to crawl a little bit until we get a better view, because it really is impossible to see. Does that look okay?
Yeah.
Yeah? So should we just get the car out onto the road and aim for your side of the road?
Right.
Okay, so look at your half of the road as you start going.
Wait, this half?
Yeah.
Okay.
The left-hand half.
Yeah.
We drive on the left.
Well, yeah, but I was confused what you meant.
Yeah, so that's what I mean, yes, the left side of the road. Just you look at that as you start going. Yeah, it's clear. So look at the left side of the road and aim the car, get the steering so that we stay on this side of the road. Lovely. Bring it over towards the edge. Bring it over a little bit further towards the edge. Straighten up. Straighten the steering, because otherwise we'll steer back out into the road. Squeeze. That's it, that's fine. Absolutely fine. Squeeze the brake for a stop. And now, just secure the car. Well done. Really nice clutch control, which is going to be important in that sort of situation when you're trying to, say, come out from a junction and you've got such an awful view one way or the other or both. You've got to be able to control the car and it's just go really slowly. It's really nice what you did there. If that sounds patronising, it's not meant to be. It's genuine. You know, I'm really impressed with how you did that. Right, now we can get to the nitty gritty of moving off down a road and achieving your aim of getting to second gear.
Right.
How are we going to make sure this time? Well, how did you make sure in the lay-by over there that we moved off slowly? Sorry, moved off safely.
Kept the clutch on
Okay. Did that make? Sorry.
Check mirror?
Did you?
No, I didn't actually. Check that one, but I didn't check the...
Well, it's just one of us was looking around to see what was going on.
Okay.
Right, I want to transfer that responsibility to you. So how are you going to make sure when we move off from here that you're going to move off safely? So you're going to check that mirror?
Yeah.
You're not going to bother with the other two?
Yeah. Because there could be someone coming up the side with the front.
Okay. What about this one?
Yeah.
How important here, in this position, is this mirror?
Not particularly, but okay.
I think so either.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere else that's worth checking?
Blind spot?
Ah, you've heard of the blind spot. Where is your blind spot? Turn the engine off. I'm going to get out of the car. I'm going to walk alongside it, as long as nothing is coming, about a metre or so out from the car, along there. Now, what I want you to do is ignore the little circular mirror.
Yeah.
And I want you to watch me in the main mirror and tell me when I disappear. So you can see me in the mirror?
Yeah.
Tell me when I disappear.
About there, yeah.
And where am I? That's where you've got to look.
Okay.
Okay, it's not back there. If you look through your back window, whatever you see there, you'll see in the mirror anyway. But it's here. So if there's a driveway or a junction there with somebody turning right, and you don't look here, you'll miss it.
Right.
If there's a car overtaking you, or a motorbike overtaking you in the dual carriageway, you're about to go into the next lane, if you don't check here, you could easily drive towards them.
Okay. Yeah.
question now is, when are you going to do these